I want to extend a warm welcome to all our viewers. We are back on the next Google Hangout as well. My name is Pran Kurup. I'm going to be your host and moderator for this event. Today we have Yogendra Yadav as our guest. I know this was not announced in our earlier schedule of Google Hangouts, but we did send it out on Twitter and Facebook and other avenues. So, and it's pretty late in the night for Yogenji, so we appreciate him taking the time to be with us after a long day's campaigning. So we're going to have a brief Google Hangout today, and it's going to be focused entirely on Yogenji's campaign and also with regard to trying to raise money for the Aam Aadmi Party. So if you are watching right now and would like to participate, please feel free to visit our website and donate directly at the Aam Aadmi Party website. So with this, let me just bring in Yogen, and he can give us a quick update. Yogenji, if you could give us an update on where things are with regard to your campaign and your general sense for where things are headed, that'll be a great start, and then we can take some questions.
Hello, friends. Hello, namaste, sat sri akal. This is Yogendra extending you very warm greetings from India. I can say warm greetings because the temperature has really started soaring up here in India. I've been through the campaign today, and I can tell you I had skin burn. The temperature is already around 35 here, and I feel somewhat lucky that my campaign would come to an end in 2 days' time. And I really do not envy friends whose election will continue for another 4 weeks or so. So here we are in the at the very starting point of a very long and decisive campaign. Tomorrow the election begins in the country. A few portions of the country go to poll tomorrow. That is 7th by Indian time. And in a sense, technically, I can say actually today, because it's already the morning of 7th in India. So yes, polling begins in India today. For my constituency, it happens on the 10th. It's in Gurgaon. And we can, so in a sense, the much awaited Lok Sabha election has begun. What is at stake here? What is at stake is nothing short of the future of our country. This is not one of those routine elections which you contest and the usual game of who gets how many seats, who gets how many votes, who allies with whom, who somehow manages to cobble government. Although this is how media presents it once again, because this is their old habit. But really, what is at stake here is the future of our country. The political class, the political establishment of the country has failed to deliver. Not only has it failed to deliver, in fact, political establishment is not just not part of the solution, it is part of the problem. And what we seek to interrogate is this political establishment. After a very, very long time in the country, there is a possibility, there is a political force. That is a force of virtue, force of honesty, force of clean politics. I remember a few years ago, a friend of mine said, I was traveling then, I think I was in London then. And she said, Yogen, tell me one thing, you are a political scientist. We Indians can do everything. We can be the best doctors in the world. We can be the best engineers. Those were not the days of IT, but now I can add, we can be the best computer guys in the world, best software engineers. Why can't we get our politics right? She asked me that question. The question has stayed with me. And in a sense, I didn't have an answer then. But today the country has an answer. And the Aam Aadmi Party is that answer. It is that opportunity that the country was waiting for. It is that opportunity that was badly needed. And it is an opportunity which has suddenly opened up in history. And what we seek to do in this election is to upscale. So I would not go into the entire history of Delhi, what we did, how we did, etc., but would be happy to answer questions. But all I wanted to do was to simply pick the story from Delhi election. Delhi election results offered us an opportunity to upscale it. We did not contest Delhi election because we wanted to be a regional political party of Delhi. For us, Delhi was only a stepping stone to something much larger, namely changing politics in the country, because really at the level of the state, you cannot change so many important things. It's only through parliamentary elections that you can change some of the basic frames, which leads to corruption in the country. So we decided that, okay, here is an opportunity, and the response after Delhi verdict has been such that from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, as the saying goes, we had tremendous response. We had lots of people who wanted to join. So we decided to go for, in a sense, the largest possible ambition in terms of, there's nothing personal about this ambition. This is about the organization being as big as we decided. And thereafter, the party has gone about the task of selecting candidates. We already have more than 400 candidates. So we may actually put up more candidates than the BJP and perhaps even the Congress. I'm not too sure about the Congress, but we have very large number of candidates. And the whole idea is to build a base for long-term transformation of the country. There is a short-term opportunity, there is a long-term opportunity. Short-term opportunity is to create a force, a significant force in the next parliament, which would act as a cleansing agent. I would not claim anything more than that. But you know, what Delhi result demonstrated was that those 28 MLAs were agents of change, not just in Delhi. They actually affected the way things were happening in Maharashtra, the way things were happening in Haryana. Can be a very significant force once if it is a force of virtue. So our short-term aim then is to be that force of virtue, is to be that cleansing agent in the next Lok Sabha election. Given the environment of political instability, etc., we do not know how long this Lok Sabha would continue. But that is the space available to Aam Aadmi Party to then build. We build from state to state. We already have changed the nature of political competition in Delhi. We would like to become a viable political force in Haryana and Maharashtra, which go to polls later this year. And the long-term strategy is to go state by state, pick one state after another state, and to become a viable force at the national level. For that, parliamentary election is a crucial step. Parliamentary election provides the base for us to move forward. And that's why we thought we should tap the entire, is because the country doesn't see this kind of energy very often. So even at the risk of spreading ourselves thin, we decided that we would tap maximum energy and use it for long-term organization building and nation building. That's what we are doing. We have done candidate selection. As you would have noticed, we have also released our national manifesto. And we have taken position on vast range of questions. Earlier, everyone used to say, you people talk only about corruption. What is your foreign policy? What is your economic policy? We have responded to all those things in our national manifesto document. And we are in the middle of the campaign. And the campaign, which has been energized by Arvind Bhai's decision to take on Mr. Narendra Modi, that has infused a lot of energy in the campaign, that has enthused lots of workers, and we are beginning our campaign. As for myself, I'm contesting Lok Sabha election from Haryana in Gurgaon constituency. But don't think Gurgaon is just the high-rise buildings in the IT sector of Gurgaon. Gurgaon parliamentary constituency is large constituency which has 3 districts in it. So it has a tiny bit of what you know as Gurgaon, but it also has large portions of ordinary urban area. There are 14 other towns in this constituency. There is a vast rural hinterland, agrarian, semi-arid, and then there is the district of Mewat, which is one of the most backward areas in the country right now. So the challenge is to bring all of them together. The keen competition in this constituency appears to be from the BJP. The Congress has almost abdicated the ground and has run away. In fact, Congress didn't have any taker for its ticket in the constituency. So to begin with, that's not much of a competition, but INLD, the local regional party, has put up another candidate who seems to be a serious contender. So we are in the middle of a multipolar contest. And yesterday, the first survey was released about the constituency, and I'm very happy to share that the survey says Aam Aadmi Party is on right now with a 3 percentage point lead over the BJP. But that survey, don't take it for result. We still have the election. Election happens on the 10th, and thereafter I plan to spend most of my energy on campaigning in the rest of the country. So I guess I've already spoken more than I thought I would, and would be very happy to welcome questions from every one of you.
All right, thank you, Yogenji. I just wanted to quickly recognize a few donations that have come in. At the end of the day, we're also trying to actively raise funds for the Aam Aadmi Party. Kumar Pushkar from Jharkhand has just contributed 1,000. IVS Prasad from Andhra Pradesh has donated 1,001. Another 1,000 from Sudarshan Chaudhary, and another 1,000 from Maina in the US. Ankit Agarwal, another 5,001, and 1,001 from Manat Rajan. There are a lot of donations coming in, and obviously I can't call out all the names, but I'm going to try and do my best. So while on the same topic, you mentioned about the strategy for the country as a whole. One question that's come up quite often is, are we spreading ourselves too thin by competing in so many states? You even mentioned that we might have more candidates than the BJP. Are we, overdoing it, and instead of focusing on a smaller number of seats is a question that comes up more often. So if you can respond to that, that would be great.
That question came up right in the beginning. We had two strategies available. One strategy was to say, let's focus only on 30-40 seats and try and win as many as possible. Maybe focus on 50-60 and try and win as many as possible. The advantage in that strategy was that we could pool our resources and deploy it in limited places, which would give us better returns. The disadvantage there was that
I think there's a breakup in the audio, Yogenji. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but your audio broke up a little bit. If you could just repeat the last part. Yeah, repeat the last part.
Yeah. We had two strategies available. One was of focusing on very few constituencies and trying to win as many as possible. The other strategy was to try and expand as much as possible. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes, go ahead. Again, the audio seems to have broken up. Sorry about that. Yeah, now you can go ahead. Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I was saying that this question came up right in the beginning of whether we should focus on, say, about 50-60 seats and try and win as many as possible. The advantage was that we could, focus our energies and have better dividend. The disadvantage in that strategy was that the energy that has been released, let us say in Tamil Nadu, it is unlikely that would be deployed if we were to contest elections in Madhya Pradesh. And the danger was that the energy that was released would dissipate. We have seen that earlier too, when there was a shift from movement to party. At that time too, a lot of energy got dissipated. We lost it. So after a lot of thought and looking at a long-term strategy, we thought the best thing would be to try and tap the energy, that we have right now. And it's been amazing. I mean, from Northeast to Kerala, where we did not have much of a strong presence earlier at all. Suddenly, our Kerala unit is one of the more active units. So we thought it would be unfair to shut out large parts of the country and say, see you after 5 years. If you are still around, we'll probably connect with you. That didn't look like a good option. We are in here for a long term. This is we are building a base. And even if the results are not spectacular in some parts of the country, the important thing is, do we have a base? Next time when we go there, have we already taken the first step there? That's crucial.
Great, thanks for that, Yogenji. The next, I just want to quickly welcome the folks in Winnipeg in Canada. They're assembled in a group over there to watch this live, and so I just wanted to welcome that entire group from Canada. And in the meantime, I have another question for you. This is regarding surveys. You just mentioned surveys, Yogenji. The question here is, are we doing it in all states, or is this specific to Gurgaon?
Unfortunately, we don't have the resources. This is doing an all India survey. It's a very expensive proposition, and Aam Aadmi Party simply cannot afford it. We are in such an unequal battle. I was joking with an audience today that my entire Gurgaon Lok Sabha campaign would not perhaps cost as much as one rally by Mr. Narendra Modi in Gurgaon cost him. So Aam Aadmi Party simply doesn't have those kinds of resources. We depend entirely on very meager resources that we have. And therefore, someone said, okay, let's find out about Gurgaon. But no, the simple answer is we don't have the resources to do a nationwide thing. I would love to do it because I fear that much of what is being reported by the media is systematic underestimation. I'm not making any accusations about them being biased or anything of that kind. We don't know. But the fact is that every single opinion poll all over the world underestimates a new and upcoming party. This is a point I had made in Delhi as well. No one listened to me at that point because this is a structural flaw. And therefore, it appears to me that Aam Aadmi Party may be systematically underestimated by polls. We would like to correct it, but we don't have the resources to do so.
The next question is a direct question for you, Yogenji. This is based on your experience in this campaign. Do you personally think you can win your elections?
Today, I'm very confident. As I said, there was a survey that we had commissioned. We got reports yesterday. But more than the survey, because in a small sample, errors are large and things change very rapidly. But last 3 days, I've been doing road shows in 3 parts of my constituency, in Bawal, Rewari, and today in Gurgaon itself. The response has been simply amazing. So many people who we had not contacted, we were not able to get in touch with, they spontaneously came out to support. So that gave us the confidence that we have a lot of quiet support. And yes, today I'm far, far more confident than I would have been even 7 days ago.
Now, apart from your own campaign, in general, the recent polls have shown rather dismal numbers for AAP, right? We have had media reports doing all kinds of polls everywhere, and AAP was never in they've said like 5 seats. And earlier today we had a hangout in which Vishal Dadlani said, I'll be surprised if AAP doesn't get 5 seats even in Delhi. I mean, that's the minimum he thinks we will get. So the question is, should we just ignore this? As AAP supporters, I think many people are concerned that when you have constant reports in the media about small numbers, it sort of discourages a lot of people. How do you think we should respond to that?
That's what I was talking about earlier. You see, there is a systematic problem with the way opinion polls look at small new party, and this is all over the world. And the reasons are very simple. I'm not accusing media of bias here. There are a lot of very biased media as well. But in the case of some of the best polls, The problem is that an ordinary voter is very shy to admit to a new person that he is taking the risk of voting for a new party. In fact, the person is shy to admit it almost to himself. And that is why all new parties are always underestimated in pre-election surveys. This is what seems to be affecting Aam Aadmi Party. I'm not saying that if opinion polls are saying 5, we will get 300. All I'm saying is that the figures being released appear to be systematically an underestimate. And the second problem is the seat vote conversion. In the case of small parties, which are not in the business of picking, let's say, 200 parliamentary seats, but which are not concentrated in one state either. And Aam Aadmi Party happens to be one of those parties. There is no model available for vote seat conversion. So let us say a survey finds out Aam Aadmi Party is getting 4% vote nationally. What does it mean in terms of seats? So what they do is that they use broad, gross assumptions. And based on that, they've obviously come to the conclusion that they do. But what they really need to know is how would this vote be concentrated in a few pockets, which they have no information on. And in the absence of that, they use generalized models. Anyway, all these are very technical reasons. But all I want to say was that these are the reasons why even the best, even the most fair, even the most honest opinion poll can underestimate a party like Aam Aadmi Party. The problem is further accentuated because, as Delhi has demonstrated and as our experience post-Delhi shows, that Aam Aadmi Party has a substantial chunk of support from among the poor. And opinion polls by and large, tend to undersample the poor. And that is why there's another additional reason why opinion polls may underestimate us. So as a layperson, I would say, just forget it. Don't need to spend energy on that. As long as we know that we want to create a critical mass of cleansing agent in the system, then the numbers don't really matter that much.
Another question that has come in, this is from a gentleman by name Rajesh. He says, Yogenji, great work. I wanted to ask you one question. If AAP is in the opposition and BJP is the ruling party, how will you make sure that their policies are constructive? And do you have a sense for number of seats that you would need in parliament to be a constructive opposition? I know it's a hypothetical question, but
I know. All these things have a lot of curiosity value, and if I was sitting in Canada, I would be curious in the same way. The difficulty is that sitting here in Gurgaon, I am less invested in that curiosity. I'm more invested in what can we do here and now. I spoke about a critical mass. You see, we need to have a critical mass of MPs in this Lok Sabha, in this coming Lok Sabha, who would refuse to play the games that other political parties play. You know the kind of games that get played after elections. This party would ally with that one, will demand deputy prime ministership, or have all kinds of these games being played. What you need is one honest political force which would refuse to play those games, which would take a principled stand, and which would become public's ears, eyes, and mouth in the Lok Sabha. So for me, what matters is critical mass. You can see what is critical mass. I would not put a number on that. All I would say is about critical mass rather than about majority.
Okay, thank you. I just want to quickly recognize a few more donations that have come in. Binay Kumar from India, Srinivas Iyer from Saudi Arabia, Kamal Aswani, Swayam Vikas Ghosh, Rita Jain, Vinod Kanpal. All of them have come in the last few minutes, so I just wanted to recognize a few of those and I thank all of them for their donation. So, Yogenji, I know it's almost past 1 o'clock your time, So we appreciate you taking the time to be here. Did you have any final comments to make before we end the event today? Because I know it's already late and you have another meeting, is what you told me before we started. So
Yes. Well, Indian elections are very grueling affairs. So yes, I have one more meeting to do before I go to sleep. I just wanted to say to friends, we did not discuss the Delhi experience and other things. And, there are lots of questions, lots of very, very fair questions. I would say, please look at Aam Aadmi Party as a long-term investment. This is, and then please do not look at how things unfold on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, there are ups and downs. And yes, we do make mistakes. We are not expert in playing these political games that political parties do. But we learn from our mistake. We move forward. And all said and done, this is the one force of virtue in our politics today. This is the one political party which says, tell us if there's something wrong in our candidate. We would withdraw the candidate. And indeed, the party has withdrawn many candidates. We have we ever heard of things of this kind happening in this country? Have we heard of political parties raising money the way we are raising now, white money, where everything is being acknowledged and accounted for? Have we had parties where its leaders' assets are exactly as they are reported? We have a new beginning in our politics. New beginnings are difficult and they take time. So please have patience. Please help us identify our mistakes and correct our mistakes. But please have patience. Political changes are long-term affairs. They take time. All of us need time. This Aam Aadmi Party is not a personal venture. It is something that the people of this country have started. Everyone owns it. And therefore we owe it to ourselves that we give this experiment more time, more encouragement, and yes, very strong feedback as well. I look forward to all that.
Thank you so much, Yogendra. I want to personally thank you for taking the time. It's so late in the night for you, so we wish you well in your elections. And I also want to thank all the audience who have watched this, and the recording of this will also be available. And before I end, I also want to thank the volunteers who work so hard to make these Hangouts possible. We have done so many this weekend, and every one of them involves a lot of coordination work between the volunteers. So you don't get to see them on these live events, but behind the scenes, they're working really hard to make this happen. So I want to thank them as well. And thank you, Yogendra, once again, and we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.